Hey, DOT community, this is Zalon coming at you with a brand new series with myself and Arch Stanton called Dawn of Titans Titan Review with Zalon and Arch Stanton. How we doing today, Arch?
Very good, Zalon. How are you?
Good. Excellent, excellent. So, for some of the community members that may not know who Arch Stanton is, I wanted to do a quick introduction here in our inaugural episode to let everyone know exactly who Arch Stanton is. So, go ahead, Arch. Take it away.
Yes, I'm known as Arch Stanton, aka Cream. I am formerly from Bourne, Phoenix, and now residing in One Vision and other One Family clans when I'm farming. Um, Played the game as long as it was on. Started with the first fire event. Um, Done a lot of testing, trying to figure this game out, like probably some of your viewers have been. So hopefully we can bring some insight to how some things work
All right. Excellent.
pertaining to Titans.
Exactly, exactly. So, exactly what the show will be about. It hopefully will be a weekly show that we can do. And the Titan Review show will be about looking at all the skills that Titans have and the relics that that help them out, and to give a little bit more insight on exactly how the best way to go about to pick your Titans that you really want to work with, and or how to relic out those Titans. So what we're going to do is move on to the first thing that we will do in every episode, and that is to show off one of Arch Stanton's wonderful DOT memes. And this is the one he made for me. Recently, he released a bunch of different DOT memes pertaining to all the DOT YouTubers, and some of them might be shown off here in the future. We will be picking out ones for each episode as we go about this. One other thing to mention before I get into the rest of the review is there is on the Non-Toxic Gamers Band, which is a downloadable app on iOS and Android, where you can join the DOT community in the chat room, which is public. And in there, we have the ability to post photos of your Titans for this show. So in the future, we would love to be able to take user submissions and be able to go over the skills and relics for that Titan to make that Titan a OP Titan. All right. So with that, just to go on exactly what we're going to be doing with this show specifically, the Titans for review will be Nexis, Kamathi, and Skolnar. All three of these Titans, of course, are my own three Titans for the first episode, so we're going to get into that right now. So, for the first one, we have Nexis. Now, we're on the dotdatabase.net, run by Yuki, and it's very helpful in being able to look at your Titans and also help build the relics for these Titans. So, I do have my Nexus here at level 19. That is what my in-game Nexus has. And we'll go down here through the skills. I have, the first skill is True Strike, Titan Armor Piercing, Ice Mastery, Titan Ice Damage, Ice Mastery 2, Titan Ice Damage, True Strike 2, Titan Armor Piercing, and Roaring Strike 3, Titan Critical. So what do you think about these skills here, Arch?
Yeah, you have a nice set.
Okay.
And yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to screw up, rolling a infiltrator.
Mm-hmm.
I like the skills that you have here.
Okay.
I grew up actually with this game using infiltrators. I started with a Cormac, and then I went into a Sarkon.
Okay.
So what you have here, going through them, armor piercing is very good for an infiltrator. You have a couple damage, another armor piercing, and you have a critical. And the critical is the key, because in the last three skills, you want to at least pick up one critical out of the last three skills, because with relics, with max 4-star relics, you'll be able to get 100% critical. and that is very important for an infiltrator. Armor piercing is important also, but that's something that you want to look for, is to get your critical up to 100%, for sure.
And especially having that be the third skill, that's going to be the highest possible critical skill as well. So that definitely is a nice boost there.
Yes, it gives you more options. It gives you more relic options if you're able to, off the bat, basically have critical at 100%.
Okay. So let's take a look at Nexis relics. Now, these are, again, maxed out 4-star relics, but these are the optimal relics for this Titan's setup. So, again, that's how we have things set up here. So we have the Dragon Helm, and I will go in. I'm not going to read off every skill here, but I will mention that the Dragon Helm, this is the resist against poison Dragon Helm, and then we have the Septic Belt, the Avalanche, another Avalanche. Now there's multiple Avalanches as well, so this is the one with Titan armor piercing, and then we also have the Holy Blades, a 4-star and a 3-star Holy Blade. So let's go over these relics here.
Okay, so Dragon Helm, to start off with, is pretty critical for an infiltrator. You start off with armor. Armor is something that you're going to look for. The way I built this was to at least try to get about 60, 65, and ended up being 75% armor. So you want to keep your infiltrator alive. Right now in the meta, they are mid-level. They kind of are falling off at mid-level, but they're still good land raiders. They're quick, they're fast. You don't have to you could solo with them. So with the Dragon Helm, again, not everyone's going to have poison resist. I just picked this one out because Panthers are pretty strong in the game. If you have something else, that's fine. It's really the armor that we're looking at here. Some resist is nice. Now we go on to the Septic Blade.
Septic Belt.
Septic Belt, sorry.
Yeah.
Septic Belt. I complemented that with just because of the Panther resist. So.
Okay.
So you can also use, there's other relics that you can use to put on this. Like it depends on what type of resist you want. You can use, for example, the Iron Guard.
Yes.
You can throw that on it. It gives you the same kind of effect, because like I said, what you're trying to do is trying to get your armor up on your infiltrator. Okay, so that's that. People can play around with that. That's all right. But like I said, you want to get your armor up about 75%, and that will help you out in battle. Now we'll go to the Avalanche. Avalanche is very important because it gives you Titan damage, critical, and armor piercing.
Yes. So
this is a really hard relic for a Nexus anyway, for ice damage. It's a really hard not to play with one of these. So this is a relic that you're going to be really wanting to acquire.
Okay.
Now, so what I've gone with yours, I was able to, people will think, oh, he's got a 3-star relic. Well, I doubled it up. I put the other 3-star Avalanche on there. And that gives me ice damage again, critical, and armor piercing. And really, mostly is to build up the armor piercing at this point.
Okay.
Okay, so then we go to the Holy Blade. Holy Blades are great. It gives you the critical, the armor piercing that you need, and also I doubled up with the 3-star Holy Blade. Now, at the bottom, you'll see a skill of charge damage. Now, this is really interesting because it's 3 times damage for infiltrators. So what happens is, if you're running against a troop, you're going to have that charge damage initially, and then when you start engaging, if your critical is up to 100%, you're basically hitting every swing at 3 times damage. And that's why I built it this way.
Okay.
So it's pretty powerful.
Okay. And I'm going to look at the overall stats. Whoop! I did not mean to do that. Well, all right. Well, we're done with that Titan. So it reloaded the page on me. It's all right though.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I have it here if you want me to go over it.
Well, I was just gonna say. So that gets our Titan critical up to and armor piercing and everything else there that we were just discussing. What are the
Yeah, you get it to 100%. You get it to 100%, and let me see. I'll just do it really quickly here. I'll just do it real quick. Yeah. So what you have is armor piercing at 142%, and you have critical at 114, which this number can be played with. Just remember, anything over 100% is pretty much useless.
Okay.
There is no. It's not a value number. Critical. So you want to get it at 100% and basically stop. And that's why I was saying that, at the end of the day, when you're looking at your skills, you really only need one critical in that.
Okay.
So that's it. Yeah, I mean,
all right. So
there's still lots of play. We can go to the next one.
All right, we're on to Kamathi. So my Kamathi is level 33, so a little more than halfway. And of course, we need to get as much, pretty much everything there we just saw. But it's more about buffing the Panthers more than anything else. So, actually,
exactly.
Let me just switch this over to Panthers.
So you start off with your charge, which is a very good skill. I rank Panther skills for Kamathi like this: charge is number 1, then it goes flanking, and then it goes critical.
Okay. Well, remember the one thing I need to mention about mine is I do have the 1.20 skills checked off here on mine, because mine is different than the one that is currently out right now, because there's 3 different versions of Kamathi: the 1.8, the 1.2, and the current one, which allows, I think it's just Panther's damage is the first skill, and that's it.
Yes.
So I just had to make that quick note here in the beginning, just so everyone knows.
Sure. So starting this one off, you have charge damage, very, very nice skill. You have Panther's damage against Titans is okay. It's something that you don't want multiples of that at this point.
Okay.
And the reason is because basically there's not a lot of people are switching over to troop-based defenses or troop-based defensive Titans. So you're not going to see a lot of paladins out there, but that is what kind of negates that paladin is this skill. So that's okay for being number 2. Then you have damage, which is good. It's always good. And then you have that critical.
Yep.
At number 4, which is really good.
And then we have a locked 5th skill.
And you have one skill that's still
mystery
up in the air,
skill.
and I can talk about that.
So, but what do I want to get on that 5th skill? Let's see what the options are. Panther's damage, Panther's critical, armor piercing, damage against Titans, charge, or flanking. So again, what do you think the best 5th skill on this Kamathi would be?
Would be to get another charge. That would be what you're looking for. What you're not looking for is critical. You don't need it.
Yeah,
because
again,
with this build, you're going to be at 113% critical.
Okay.
On your Panthers, so you do not want another critical. Damage is okay. It's either flanking would be okay, and I can get into flanking a little bit, but flanking is a really hard skill to trigger. We should do a whole show on that, actually. Okay. But it is an OP skill if you learn how to use it. So you don't really want another damage against Titans.
Oh yeah. Okay. No. All right. Well, let's take a look at the relics for Kamathi then.
Right. So you have what I go with is Mount Armor, 4-star.
Yes, very popular relic, but sometimes very hard to get many 4-star Mount Armors, of course.
Right. What I've done is I've gone to a second Mount Armor, a 3-star. Now, some people will look at this and go, "Wow, why aren't you using the Septic Belt?" You can. That's fine. I prefer going with the second Mount Armor for the extra health, but that's okay. That's a personal preference. Now, Bitter Dirks, very important. This is a very, very nice relic to complement Kamathi, and it's also much needed. Now we have the Tainted Bow. This is an event relic, which is also important.
Tainted Blade. It's okay. That's
okay. I have them mixed up here. All right.
It's okay.
Either both of them, the bow, the blade.
Okay.
Very important event relics that if you don't have, try to pick up. They give you your extra poison damage at 60%, panther damage, and then critical for the bow, and armor piercing for the blade. Very important. And then with your build, I went with Bitter Dirk's 3-star. Now this is optional. You can put in a few other things here. I prefer more damage, so that's why I went with that. And it also depends on the next skill that you unlock.
Exactly. Very true. Very true.
Right. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Just hope you don't get critical again.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And here, just to take a look at the Panthers, because I have them at level 19 now, I think. Yeah, because they were the first. They were the first troop I leveled up at level 19. So definitely looking pretty good there with that armor piercing and critical up as high as they are, with the armor as well over 50. So very nice.
Yeah. So you got armor at 53%.
Yep.
Which is decent for Kamathi.
Yep.
Armor piercing at 138 and critical at 113. Yep. So again, you probably want to get your armor piercing up on this.
Well, I have them switched around because I have the Tainted Blades in, so the Tainted Blades on mine are switching to armor piercing 156 and critical to 75.
Right.
Yeah.
And you also have the one relic that everybody wants is the Great Plague that buffs Panthers, and I didn't throw that in here because it is a tough relic to get, but it's something that you can look out for, and you can definitely fit it on Kamathi, and that's something to look out for.
All right, so we're gonna switch over to the last one, and that is going to be Skolnar, and my Skolnar is 44. I'm very proud of my Skolnar just because he's just awesome. I've always enjoyed him, but the unfortunate thing is we'll go through here the skills and you'll see why. But so here we go. Stone Skin Aura, first skill with the Goliath resist against melee. Brimstone Aura, Goliath resist against ice. Molten, Goliath resist against fire, and the Brimstone Aura again. So I got 2 ice resists on this Skolnar, and of course a mystery 5th skill. So what do you think about that?
Well, with this Skolnar in general, very, very hard Titan to obtain relics for, because you do need rings. Because what you want to do is try to get your Goliath to get 100% resist to the meta, as in poison, ice, and fire. As of right now. So it's really hard to do that with the Skolnar. So I'll break it down. You have melee, resist against melee. That's all right. That's cool.
Because there's a lot of melee damage. Yeah.
The fire is nice. That's very good too. So basically, what you want to unlock and cross your fingers is you want poison resist.
Oh yeah.
Right, and mostly, people that get really lucky have 100% resist to Titan. So that is this kind of Skolnar you kind of want or would love to have. So this Skolnar, what you're looking at is you're going to try to build it so you're slowing down an opponent, not necessarily winning, but you're going to slow them down enough that it's going to take them time to beat you. Because there are rangers that are going to come in here and eventually beat you. It's the amount of time it's going to take to do it, and that's the way I've built this, to try to take as much time away as possible. So we can go into the relics.
Yep, here
Goliath
we go.
Belt is very important. That gives you health, Goliath armor, and resist against physical. And resist against physical for Skolnars aren't too bad because a lot of people bring archers in. Okay. You'd be surprised, but they because archers have armor piercing, they bring in archers to take down Goliath quickly. And then there's the Earth Shield, which is he's got a different name for it here. That gives you Titan resist against Earth for your Skolnar, which is not important because we're just buffing. We're trying to buff your Goliath. Titan health, but the 40% Goliath health is what's important here. And then the Earth Helm, again, it gives you Goliath armor, which is very important. Really, like I said, you're not focused on your Skolnar. Your Skolnar is not the focus. Is what it is trying to get your Goliath really buffed up.
Yep.
I went with the second or the 3-star Goliath belt, which again gives you health, armor, and again a bit of physical.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's where it gets tricky, because these 2 rings are important and they're very, very hard to get. They don't drop very often. You probably have to get them through temple pulls. There's 3 different versions of them. But these are very crucial because, again, we're trying to get your Goliath up to 100% resist, and these rings will do it. So what I did was I put the fire ring on, so that would give you 100% fire to resist.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did put the poison ring on just in case you rolled on your 5th skill poison resist, to have people, have an idea of what to look for.
Mm-hmm. Pretty awesome.
So at the end of the day, you have 102 armor, which is pretty good. And then as you go on, again, with a Skolnar, as you go on in levels, say you're a level 17, this is okay. When you start getting up in levels,
mm-hmm.
you can start putting, your stone mallet on. You can start, because your Goliaths are starting to get a little bit stronger, so you can put offensive relics on. So this is a build that somebody has, say, mid-level, but as you go on, remember, you can start putting offensive relics on your Goliaths. And I think that wraps it up.
Yep, that's pretty much everything. So this has, again, been our first episode of Titan Review with Zalon and Arch Stanton. I hope everybody enjoyed. Please remember, if you would like to submit a Titan for review, please take a screenshot of your Titan in the hall with skills shown so that we could see them all. And also, if you want to send a picture of the relics that you have on them or not, it doesn't matter. We could obviously just go with what we have with just the skills. But please put that in the Non-Toxic Gamers band, and you just have to submit it into the photos of the Titan Review submissions. It is there, so you do have to join the Non-Toxic Gamers band to be able to submit. And we will put them on future shows. So thank you, Arch Stanton, for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Lon.
All right, and we will be back at you guys with another video very soon. Have a good one.